Roar. Growl. Snarl. Bellow.
Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast with two heads networking life, like the penis of a koala. My name's Matthew Donald. And each week, I and a rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week, I'm joined by my fellow head who's networking life. It's Lawrence Mack. How are you?
I'm good. I had no idea koalas had less heads than me, so that's interesting.
Yeah, you mean more? Or what? Oh, wait, they have two heads. Do you have... Oh, wait. Oh,
Yeah.
you have like a Cerberus penis. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, okay. Well, whatever you and your wife do is you're up to you. But
That's how that radiation I've been subjecting myself to.
how have you been?
I've been pretty good.
That's
pretty
good.
good.
I love, like, you know, the episodes with you get deranged so quickly. And to be fair, I started with that thing, but like this is doing deranged in record time.
Yeah, exactly. It's going straight down. Because now I'm going to ask about what happens. Which one do you do if you have to decapitate a koala?
What? Decapitate or castrate?
Is that which one would it be? Which head?
I'm saying, did you know that the two-headed that the koalas have a two-headed penis? Did you not know that?
I did not actually know that.
That's the what I was referencing.
I got
therefore
that on the context quiz.
Yeah, the whole koala female has two vaginas because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like
hell.
Well, you know, oddly enough, speaking of how quickly we got deranged,
yeah,
we also dive that quickly into Star Trek because Klingons have two penises.
They went that deep into.
Well, it was always for a long time. They kind of said it was like joked about in the fandom. For a long
so they
time
just became canon
because they talk about Klingons having so many redundant organs and stuff because they're warrior race.
Three lungs, two hearts,
hearts. Yeah, exactly. And then in one of in Discovery, when they went to the Klingon homeworld, they went to some backwater town kind of thing, and somebody was pissing outside of a bar, and you saw two very distinct streams.
Cool.
Yeah. So they made that.
They made that canon. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Anyways, let's talk about something else. let's move on to another mammal. One that's actually, I don't know why I said the penis of koala, because like that's not even prehistoric. It's just a fun fact,
right? Yeah, exactly. That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, you thought it was hard to find the spot to find it once. Imagine having to find it for both of them.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time. And having to take two sets of Viagra. I mean,
koalas, you know, they're very dumb, but maybe they're smarter than we give them credit for because I couldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've got it figured out apparently.
All right. Well, so let's move on though to the creature we're going to discuss today. It's called Megantereon, which means giant beast, which is a very uncreative name. It also doesn't really apply to this guy because it's not only it's a saber-toothed cat. It's not even a very big saber-toothed cat. It's about the size of a jaguar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But it was early 1800s when they discovered it, so they're like, giant beast, whatever.
Some giant cat, give it a cool name.
Yeah, exactly. Megantereon, I think, is like, so...
Megantereon.
Megantereon, yep.
Megantereon.
Cool. Type, it's a machairodontid felid, the more fancy name for the saber-toothed cats.
Right. Yeah.
Size 5 to 6.5 feet / 1.5 to 2 meters long, 220 to 350 pounds. Giant beast, my ass. Those are my measurements, too. I'm within that range.
I was going to say, our big cat's probably pretty close to that.
If you include if you change long to tall, I'm between 5 and 6.5 feet tall, and I'm between 220 and 350 pounds. So I'm exactly the size of this cat. So
you're saying it'd be a pretty even match?
Yes, obviously.
Obviously.
By that metric, I'm also a giant beast, which I guess I sort of am. I need to eat less cheeseburgers.
I don't know. It's because you're so tall.
Yeah,
That's
it's
obviously what it did. It's because that thing was so long. To stretch the tail out, it becomes giant.
Makes sense. That's all it takes to be long or tall or
Exactly.
giant beast. I mean,
Yep, you just got to be real long. That's why we're not actually giant beasts. We're just more tall than long.
that is true. We
Yeah.
are. Anyways, so I'm gonna keep going before it inevitably goes to another.
So something else.
That-
Yeah,
So
exactly.
diet's carnivore. There's evidence that early hominids, i.e., our ancestors, were on the menu based on some skulls found of Homo erectus with bite marks matching the teeth of this.
Really?
Yeah. So
On the skulls.
on the skulls right there, yep, in the back in the cranium.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's honestly, with teeth that big, it probably kills immediately in most places. it
Yeah, but
does,
especially the head.
especially the head. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think they try to suck the brains out doing it that way.
oh yeah, like a spider. Like
Slurp it up.
Yeah.
Get little straws, punch in there.
Well, and that's what those sabers are, basically, 2 straws, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
totally.
then, and they had venom like a snake, right?
Yeah, totally. It worked just like a vampire, right? That's how they drink through the teeth.
Are vampires venomous?
Well, I mean, technically, they kind of almost have to be if it turns other people into vampires if you get bitten.
Is
right?
that what venom does? If a snake bites me, I don't turn into another snake.
Well, you just die
That's true.
potentially.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, the vampire venom would kill you.
I
You
guess.
just come back
As a
undead.
vampire. Okay. That's
Maybe?
also magic.
I don't know.
so-
That's an interesting question.
I don't know. We gotta get into vampire biology at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's vampire dinosaurs, right?
No. So-
Darn.
time early Pliocene to mid Pleistocene, 3.6 million to 400,000 years ago. It just missed Homo sapiens by a tenth of a million years, as of our current estimates. Lucky us, or more accurately, lucky it's, knowing what we do to creatures.
So it didn't actually hunt any humans, just
But-
other human-like creatures.
Well, it hunted our ancestors, which is important because I'll get into
Uh-oh.
why that's important. All right, just location: Eurasia, Africa, and possibly North America. Described in 1824. Pop culture appearances. Some documentary on PBS called "Before We Ruled the Earth," and that seems to be it. Sorry, I don't mean any disrespect by calling that some documentary. I'm sure the people who made it worked very hard on it.
Yep.
All right, so you know the shadow figure
The shadow figure?
when you turn off the lights in the basement and you feel the urge within you to run upstairs as fast as possible.
Oh, totally.
Yep. Otherwise, the shadow figure will get you.
Yep.
Don't tell me you don't know this. I've seen TikToks of this and everything. People like,
oh no, I know this. But my first, when I was growing up, my childhood house was. I swear it's haunted. My wife doesn't believe it, but you know, whatever. There I have plenty of stories. I always saw like shadow figures wandering around the basement.
Yep,
and
and you just got as soon as you turn off the light, you got to run. You got to run upstairs,
gotta run
otherwise it'll get you.
upstairs. Yep.
But as someone who lives and sleeps in the basement, I'm roommates with the shadow figure. He doesn't scare me anymore.
Oh, very nice. He's actually a pretty cool dude, huh?
He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah.
So the reason we all fear the shadow figure is, as you might expect, how our brains evolved to cope with the environment. See, when we were hunter-gatherers in the savannah, or our ancestors, we had predators, like Megantereon, that lurked about trying to get us. Some people had to stay up at night to defend the group, which is also why some people nowadays are more night people, like me. I'm a night person. I'm a night owl. Screw the morning people. They suck. Everything's catered towards them
Exactly.
specifically.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. You had to come up. You
people.
came over to record at 11 a.m. and at first I was like, was that too early?
I know. Exactly. Yeah.
It was like, I'm still asleep. But
Yep,
I'm sleeping over 3 or 4 hours.
I thought 1 p.m. was morning.
Anyway, so as it turns out, the lurking in the long grasses were horrific beasts that would love nothing more than to eat us and munch on our heads. And one of those beasties is our friend here, Megantereon. We have direct fossil evidence that they hunted us. So basically, that means that Megantereon was the original shadow figure, since we had to evolve to deal with them as well as predatory felines like lions and leopards. Our brains evolved to assume something is lurking in the darkness, and any shapes in the pitch black could presumably be a predator. It's better for our brain to assume there's danger when there's none, to think that they're safe when they're not, and thus we deal with the shadow figure. So,
that's crazy.
I know. I thought it was very interesting.
That is very interesting.
I was like, because I saw a TikTok about the shadow figure, and I'm like, there is no unique experiences, is there?
Oh, of course not. No, not anymore.
No, it's like you go on TikTok, someone has your idiosyncrasies.
Yeah. That's wild.
And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's because, we evolved to like worry about predators. And I looked into it, and Megantereon was one of them.
That's insane. That's really cool, though.
I thought so. I thought that was pretty neat.
That makes sense. We can blame our friend Megantereon here for my anxiety pill every month, huh?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So it's deal with a lot of problems in the world are from this guy. So screw it, honestly.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Go back in time and raise Hitler or something. Nah, go back in time and raise Megateron. I just said that wrong, but
I saw. Since I've been talking about TikTok a lot on this episode, it seems like I'm constantly on TikTok, and that's because I am. But I saw this fun image that was like, I've invented a device that can travel back in time. They press it, and it just disappears. And then, but then it shows. It says like Austria 1884, and just see this device just appear on the ground.
Just see some random picture that somebody took of that exact point, just in some textbook. You just see it show up.
It's like, but the implication with that timing was that they were going to kill Hitler, maybe Hitler. So, but they forgot that when they invented a device that travels in time, it doesn't take anything with it.
Exactly. You got to build a case to be inside of it when it goes.
Right.
Or something.
It's like the DeLorean in Back to the Future. It's like you have to be in it. But what if you're on it? Based on the fact that the train that was touching it didn't travel in time, you have to be in it.
In it, exactly. Yeah.
So that's the logic. So any bugs that are on it, they're going.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep it clean, then, huh? Does that mean any dirt on the outside also stays behind? Does it just pop out looking absolutely pristine?
Well, except the paneling on it. I don't know.
It just shows up as the frame.
It's the framework. It's like, well, crap. We can't go with it anymore.
Right, yeah. We can't science this theoretical technology yet.
Out of all the scientific issues with Back to the Future, that is not one of them I thought that would think about. Like all the weird paradoxes and stuff. That's not a part that's bothered me before. Now add it to the list.
Yep, exactly. Now every time watching, I have to be like, why did the car's panels go with it? What the heck?
Right. Oh, man. But so Megantereon, it was a transitional form between earlier saber cats and shorter canines and later ones with longer exposed sabers. Its upper canines were proportionally long, but not as exaggerated those as Spilodon, but suggesting a different hunting strategy. Fossil evidence indicates that Megantereon had a sturdy, muscular build with powerful forelimbs adapted for grappling prey. And its limb proportions suggest it was more of an ambush spreader than a pursuit hunter.
That kind of makes sense with that fossil record stuff with the bite marks in the back of the heads and stuff. Seems like they would like sneak up on people and incapacitate them right away.
Right. Well, because like if you don't get them with that initial pounce, it's harder to get them from that same hunt. You kind of have to like then hide and try again.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll turn around. They had spears and stuff. They'll jab at you.
Yep.
What do you thought about this from the Megantereon's point of view?
Well, I've always thought about like how difficult. Like I like having to going out and getting food, and it's just there. I could not survive hunting.
Oh, for real.
It's like in order for me to just eat, I have to risk my life and prepare and do all this stuff. And
could
run.
Just gather berries.
What?
Could just gather berries.
Well, I could, unless I'm a predator.
Yeah. Oh, right, we're back to that point. I was just flopping everywhere.
Yeah. We're talking about the Megantereon's perspective. Yeah. From the human's perspective, it's also not great either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, Mommy, where's Taco Bell? It hasn't been invented.
Bells hadn't been invented yet. It was Taco Cave.
Tacos have been invented, but not bells.
Exactly. Yeah, tacos been around since the beginning of the earth.
I think I would actually wager that bells predate tacos by thousands of years. But I'm going to look into that.
Yep. It could be. Now we're going to have a whole bunch of comments on there arguing back and forth.
Okay, listeners, I would look it up, but listeners, tell us which came first, tacos or bells?
Exactly.
I'm presuming bells because it's such an easy instrument. I think.
Right. Yeah.
But then tacos
could
be a traditional like.
An
Mesoamerican
form of taco, just putting some food in a shell and eating it. Clearly, Taco Bell named themselves because the taco came before the bell. They're not Bell Taco.
Okay, the bell came first. Bell has been around since various civilizations, at least 2000 BC.
Heck, some of the humans were even talking, or humanoids might even had some form of bell, dinner bells and stuff.
Okay. Though indigenous Mesoamericans were using the tortillas long before the Spanish arrived, the taco came up in the 18th century. So there we go.
Within like 20 minutes of each other.
Yeah. I mean, from the perspective of prehistory, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, exactly. From geologic time, totally.
I can't believe. Look, I know people give AI a lot of crap, and sometimes rightfully so. But I can't believe when I googled, it was like, which came first, the Taco Bell? I thought it was like, did tacos come before Taco Bell? Yes, obviously they did. Like,
Taco Bell invented tacos, man. Didn't you know that? Spanish didn't have tacos or anything before that.
Or the Mesoamericans.
Exactly.
No.
I mean, I thought Taco Bell also invented the tortilla, to be honest with you.
Taco Bell did invent the Mountain Dew Baja Blast, though.
They did do that.
Yeah.
They did supply the world with that wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm going to go Taco Bell.
And then they took away my quesadillas.
They took away...
they took away a lot of stuff.
They have taken away a lot of stuff. They had those birthday cake churros recently.
Oh, really?
So good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Of course, birthday cake's one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah. That's one of my other favorite flavors too.
I know people are like, oh, if you have birthday cake ice cream, you're such a child. I'm like, yeah. I'm not arguing. I'm a man child.
Yeah.
I have a podcast about dinosaurs.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, Megantereon.
It's not even a dinosaur.
No, it's not. But so fossils of Megantereon have been found across Africa, Eurasia, and possibly North America, indicating a broad distribution during the Pliocene and Pleistocene epochs. A nearly complete skull of Megantereon was discovered in saber-toothed cave in southern China, providing valuable insight into its morphology and confirming its presence in Asia as well. Animals used to be everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, animals are still everywhere, but I mean, the same animals had wider ranges.
Yeah. Continents were closer and all that.
Well, I don't know about 4 million years ago they weren't.
Yeah, maybe not.
But the land bridges, though, because of the sea levels, yeah. So, and also, you know that the pronghorn antelopes evolved to be as fast as they were specifically due to the North American cheetahs that used to exist.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And so now they're fast for no reason because there's no North American cheetahs.
So now they're just nothing to catch them.
Nope, nothing.
Can't see them.
Nope, can't see them. Where are they? They're not extinct.
Exactly.
They're just moving so fast.
Just can't see them anymore.
They're just going so fast.
Blink of an eye.
The only time I can see them is when you go to the museum and see them taxidermied.
Yeah, exactly. Or if they manage to get hit by a car somehow. They try to cross the road and
they're not going so fast the car doesn't just phase through them. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
they need to work on it.
Well, maybe that is possible. How do you get a body if one to taxidermy?
Well,
old age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Eventually, they gotta slow down.
I was at the museum yesterday, and yeah, that makes sense why the pronghorns were also wrinkly and had beards.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you been to the museum lately?
I have not been.
They have a new Jurassic Seas special exhibition.
Really?
It's available until September, so
that's cool. My girlfriend and I were talking about going at some point. So yeah, I'll definitely have to go see that.
Just awesome. Fair warning: the Jurassic Seas thing, that is purely branding. It's all prehistoric seas. At first, once it had mosasaurs and megalodon, I was like, that's the Jurassic. But no, then it showed Triassic and it showed,
nice.
Yeah, moving on into the month. Yep, so it's pretty good.
Very cool. That's awesome. I'm excited to go see that.
It did constantly state that dinosaurs evolved 245 million years ago. I'm like, that's too early. But you said it multiple times. I'm like, am I being gaslit by this museum? Like, am I the crazy one?
Right. It's just part of that lib's agenda,
Well,
making sure that we know it was more than 6,000 years ago.
I was going to say, or that they even existed at all.
Exactly. Yeah. And that they're not just planted.
I'm going to give Megantereon 52 million. Actually, that's really generous. I don't want to give it. That's because I like the shadow figure. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. The shadow figure thing is cool.
Yeah, so, 32 million. 32 million.
32 million?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll say... I hate using the number 45 now for obvious reasons. So I'll give it 44 million.
44 million? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The shadow thing, I love being scared. So, if it wasn't around, I couldn't get scared.
Yep. My ex-girlfriend now, I should say, because this is the first time I said on the show that I'm now single again. So that's right, ladies, I'm available. Wink. So
man, your DM's gonna blow.
I know, sneak into those DMs, slide into them, baby. But she articulated to me so well why she likes horror. And I was like, surely being scared is a negative emotion. Why do you actively seek it out? At first, I was like, is it like a roller coaster where it's like a thrill? And she's like, well, no, It's because I get scared and I'm worried about getting scared. But if I watch a horror movie, I'm controlling when I'm scared. So I'm like taking the power back. I'm like, that's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's like that way I can be scared on my own terms.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
That's
like,
interesting. That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think it was cool though, so that's why I dumped her ass. Right? No, that wasn't the
reason. Lame.
Anyways, well, that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show or slide into my DMs, you can contact me at palebites.podcast@gmail.com, at palebites.podcast on Blue Sky and on Instagram. I've been asking this lately. Where can they find you? Are you on social media at all? Not really.
No, not really.
You're a mysterious person.
You can find me through you.
Yeah, it's just send me emails like, Lawrence, and this is for Lawrence. I'm like, okay, Lawrence, you have a question? Lawrence is like, okay, here's the question. Like, here's the answer.
Yeah.
It's like a game of telephone.
I guess I should probably make up one for something, I guess.
Well, you do go on time adventures.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like
exactly.
So I don't know.
If somebody from the 1900s has to get a hold of me from like 1901.
Well, just because sometimes
they got to send an email.
Yeah, exactly. The 1900s email.
Exactly.
The telegram.
Yeah, because if I'm not there, at least I'll get it in 2015 or something when I visit.
Back to the Future, you'll just get a letter that's sent to you from the mail 70 years early, right?
Exactly.
Like,
totally. Yeah.
So yeah.
Make sure this shows up at that time.
Yep, exactly. All right, I have books here on Amazon Megazuck available for print and Kindle. No Megantereon now because that's a bit later than when the books take place. So, but that's it.
And you don't want them hunting some of the humans,
I mean, it's true. There are no humans for it to hunt in there, so
it
would starve.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, that's it for this week. Get out of here, guys. Go, shoot.
I don't think I have the right qualifications. I had to get that in there.
Of course.
Thanks for listening. If you want to further support the show, you should subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/MatthewDonald, where you can get ad-free episodes and you can get the raw, unedited episodes. So go and check it out at patreon.com/MatthewDonald. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day. Chomp.